What's up, guys? This is Chris with Half Chrome, and where am I? I'm in Jack's drone lair. I'm here because I gave him back this guy and the Insta360 camera, and I wanted him for this because I'm going to be talking about these two little camera systems today and my trip to Arizona, where I got footage like this. When I planned this trip, I knew what I was going to bring with me. I knew I was going to bring the Skydio 2 because I don't have a lot of opportunities to do fun outdoor sports here in Illinois, and I knew that's what I was going to be doing in Arizona. And I knew I'd bring the Insta360 as well as my action camera because I had not a lot of opportunity to use this as an action camera, usually using the GoPro. So I got out there and I did some off-roading with my buddy Mark and mountain biking with my buddy Nate. Now, Nate, I think he kind of played along with all of my camera shenanigans. Mark, on the other hand, he was into it. He was really interested in these, and his comment was he's going to be spending some money after spending time with me because he needs some of this stuff. But it got me thinking, what is he going to get? Is he going to go for the 360 camera? Is he going to go for the drone? Is this going to be the drone he gets? So today I'm going to kind of just walk you through the footage I got, show you what the Skydio can do, show you what the Insta360 can do if you're interested in these. And he's more of an off-road guy, so at the end of the day it's going to be up to him what he thinks is going to capture what he needs. I have the sense he's going to go for a drone, but let's walk through some of the differences and what you can get with these two camera systems. I know you don't want to look at me while I talk about these two systems, so I'll throw the footage up there as I go. First up, let's talk price. This is the Insta360 One X2. This thing is the top of the line system. They have something that looks like an action camera. I think this is actually their best system. If it is 360 footage you want to go for, I'd probably go for one of these. It is pretty expensive at over $400, but not as expensive as the Skydio. For the kit I brought with me, you're talking about $1,500 or so. Of course, you have the drone. I've got a couple batteries for it, and this guy, the beacon. So this comes in handy. Now, strangely, I had to 3D print the handlebar mount myself, and I found that the horizontal mount was the way to go. I tilted a little bit so I could kind of reach over with my thumb and tell the drone either to orbit me or go far away, close, those kinds of things. And in order to get the really cool shots, you do need to kind of change it up a little bit. There is no master shots for the Skydio, and I was able to kind of reach through, while trying to dodge extreme pain-inducing cactus. I was able to switch back and forth and get the drone to do some interesting things. So anyway, yeah, that's going to cost you $1,500. That's a pretty penny. Now, there are cheaper options out there, but in terms of these kinds of shots with all the follow me and avoiding cactus and trees and things, I would not be doing that with any other drone. Of course, the Skydio 2, it's really what it's good at, and that's what it's good at. It's not great for other things, for example, just orbiting anything other than a human being or a vehicle. It's not the most user-friendly drone, but it's extremely good at what you're seeing here. Okay, so the next thing that I'm thinking about as I had to prepare for this was all the editing I had to do, right? Tons of footage to go through. I'm actually glad the Skydio doesn't have a longer flight time because I had a ton of good shots to pick from. I mean, so much good stuff. However, the Insta360, even more painful, right? There's multiple editing steps. Do I want the front shot, the back shot, the tiny planet? So many choices there, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? If my buddy Nate had biffed it, I would have loved the ability to capture him behind me or see what's in front of me as I run into a giant cactus. Luckily or unluckily, those things didn't happen, but you do have all that flexibility, which is a blessing and a curse. But regardless, a lot more work to edit. Insta360, as I mentioned, super flexible. I didn't catch any bullet times while I'm out there, but I did one in Croatia. I mean, check this thing out. Pretty cool. But then again, also got this shot in Croatia with a different drone. This is a Helix, and also pretty cool. So obviously you can get different kinds of footage with these two cameras. You're not going to get action camera style footage, first person view kind of stuff with a drone. However, you're going to get these really epic drone shots, cinematic shots with a drone, and really cool stuff with the Skydio 2 in particular, with close following capability. The image quality, the Skydio 2 clearly wins in most cases, right? Because it's a 360 camera, there's a lot of stitching going on. Those pixels, even though they're 5.4K, they're spread out quite a distance, and not all parts of the frame, 360-degree frame, are going to be super crisp. And so there's going to be a lot of artifacts with that. So obviously the Skydio 2 is a better camera system. I definitely recommend recording in 4K with the Skydio 2. I'm not really happy with the 1080 footage, which isn't true of most cameras I use. 4K looks really nice though. In terms of robustness, both these systems are a little risky. They both have these 180-degree cameras sticking out, lenses that are fragile and prone to damage. You have to be careful with any 360 camera. And this guy actually has 3 of them. If you add them all up, it's got 680-degree lenses sticking out with a little bit of protection, but you have to be careful with both of these. And for an action camera, it's definitely a risk. If I had gone over the handlebars, pretty good chance you're going to scratch a lens. Also, you could see me taking off in the dust and grit. I probably should have had a bigger landing pad down, taking off the Skydio 2. Finally, and maybe most importantly, it's where you can use these. So obviously there's the legal restrictions on where you can fly a drone. There's going to be no restrictions on the Insta360 unless you're in some weird museum or something. And you can do a lot more with it, right? You can walk around indoor spaces with it. And just really for me though, it's more about comfort in where you're flying and not pissing people off, right? We were lucky where we were flying this. The second time we flew the Skydio 2, there was nobody around. The first time we saw maybe 1 or 2 people out on the trail. But in general, I just never really like to annoy people with a drone. A lot of people don't like having the buzzing sound, and that's a big difference, right? Nobody gets bothered except for me running around with this goofy looking phallic object on my head, but with a drone buzzing around, it can annoy some people. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed all this amazing footage. At least I think it's amazing footage of me and my buddy mountain biking and Mark out on the trail with his Toyota FJ. What's Mark gonna get? I don't know. Maybe he's gonna get both. Is he gonna get a drone? I think he will. Is it gonna be this one? I don't know. He doesn't need the Skydio 2 to get awesome shots of the FJ. You could fly it carefully and get some really cool stuff with other drones, and the obstacle avoidance from the other competitors are getting closer to the Skydio's capability. So I hope he gets both, but I mean, just if you're not into crazy amounts of editing, the drone's a little easier there too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed these shots. We'll be pulling them into some B-roll in the future for sure with some pretty cool stuff. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you guys next time.